Beautiful people, welcome back to our YouTube channel and thank you so much for joining today. So guys, without wasting more time, let's just go into the video proper. So this video is about two universities in Europe, and this country that hosts these universities is also a member of the European Union. This country is also in the Schengen zone, and please listen to me keenly and apply to these universities. But again, remember that in case you are looking for cheap options, these universities are a perfect example, and somehow the admissions is not that difficult. But you must understand that when you apply to these schools, also choose another school in another country to apply, or apply immediately, like maybe in Italy, in Lithuania. The reason is simple. Appointments in this country has been a problem in the past, but I am going to be checking all the details to bring to you, because as it stands right now, it looks like many people are getting appointments from the website. But also understand that influx of international students are massive in this country. The country is Poland, and I will be talking about two schools here. First one is located in Opole, and Opole is a small city in Poland. And if you want to study in this particular university in Opole, understand that you can equally study online. That's the first advantage. If you are in Poland and maybe you have a job you are doing and it's not really favorable, you can also live in another city and go study this program in Opole. I am going to give you the details soon. Also understand that the tuition fee in this university is around 5,000 Polish zloty to like 7,000 Polish zloty. That's the range, which is approximately 2,500 euros to 3,000 euros. Now, this university is open as I speak to you, so you can check it and apply immediately. But again, there are many things you need to know. Remember, I said I'm going to be talking about two schools. We are still talking about the first one. I will talk about the requirements and the programs available. Then I will give you some details before we go to the second one. Then after that, to conclude, I will touch some little sections on visa application. I hope you enjoy this. Please, have you subscribed to the channel? Do subscribe so that somebody somewhere can equally benefit from this, because if you subscribe, like and share the video, they are going to see the information. Thank you so much. So the next thing we need to understand, remember I told you this school was open on the 3rd of April, and if you do not apply now, before you know, many students might have applied for the programs available, because there are many English programs. Okay, so do not worry around. Now also understand that there is an application fee, and the application fee for this university is a little above some other universities. But the advantage with this school is that they even have a WhatsApp number. Yeah, this university actually have a WhatsApp number, and for schools that have WhatsApp numbers, it's somehow easy to easily reach out to the admissions team and ask your questions. Okay, so if you check their website, you are going to find the WhatsApp number, and the application fee is around 550 Polish zloty, which is approximately 115 euros. But there is also another advantage. You can pay this application fee in 2 installments. Well, you can negotiate with the school, but if you have the money, you pay at once. They also have a correspondent person who is in charge of that WhatsApp number I told you already. Now, let's take a look at the requirements to study in this university. First of all, what is the name of the school I am even talking about? It is called Aka University for Working Students. Okay, now this is the English name. It also have another name which is in the Polish language. That one I don't want to go into the details, but I am going to drop a link that will carry you to this university immediately for you to do their application. Requirements include a copy of your bachelor's degree, not a bachelor's degree now because we are running too fast. Let's start with the BSc students, those going for BSc programs. You need your international passport, that's document number 1. You need your secondary school documents, that's document number 2. And these secondary school documents I'm talking about include your WAEC, your A levels, O levels, WASI, depending on the country. Or if you are not from maybe Cameroon, Nigeria, and Ghana, if you come from Egypt, Morocco, South Africa, you still need your secondary school or high school certificates to apply to this school. Nigerian students, you need an eligibility document. Eligibility document, I think, is gotten from the Ministry of Education. Please verify that in Nigeria. And again, this document is to prove that you've graduated from school somehow. In case you are Cameroonian or other nationality and you are asked to show this document, please ask your ministry or your universities or the board in charge of your high school exams. For Cameroonians, it is the GCE board, so you already know what you are going to do right away. Now, you also need legalization of documents. Most schools in Poland, in fact 95% of universities in Poland, are now asking international students to legalize their documents. Now, legalization differs per country. Cameroonians, if you have been watching my videos, you already know where to go. For Nigerians, of course, you already know where to go. Ministry of Education, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. This is the gap. You start from education, you go to the Foreign Affairs Ministry with your documentation and pay the necessary money. Then they will do authentication. Then from there, you carry the documents to the ministry. No ministry again, but rather to the Polish embassy. Now the Polish embassy is going to do what? Legalization. But for those who are not in Nigeria, especially from West Africa or Central Africa, where the Polish embassy is only located in Nigeria, your school may give you some advantage, but remember, even if you get the admissions at the end of the day, you will still do legalization. But this time it's not going to be bad, because you would do it when you are already in Nigeria to apply for the visa. So in case your school is asking for that, tell them you do not have the Polish embassy in your home country. But what can you do? For now, you can always finish with the Ministry of Education, Foreign Affairs, and you submit the documents. I hope you understand. Of course, they are going to give you the offer if you do the authentication. But when you are going for visa application, you have to do legalization. It is so mandatory. So please put this into consideration. You equally need a digital photo, a photo that will be used for your application, because probably they might need that as well for your school identity card. Yes, it's very important for schools in Poland. Now, when it comes to English proficiency, it's either you supply your IELTS exam or your TOEFL exam, or if you studied in English, or if you come from an English institution country, go to your school. Like those who studied from the university or in the University of Boya, you have the right to go to UB and collect English proficiency, right? Then you submit. In case you are applying to this university, it's so important. Then you also need your confirmation of the application fee payment. It's so important. You need to pay before you upload the documents here. This is for the first university, and of course the programs in this university are massive, so I will not even go into the programs, but we are going to talk about the details later. Okay, then they have programs like BSc programs, they have MSc programs, all in English. I'm going to put the details in the video description box. Then if you want to apply to this university, Accra University, for working students, please note that you are going to be using these same requirements for your master's program. If you want to apply for master's, right, you will also add to your bachelor's certificate and the transcript, because it's so important. Remember, it has to be legalized. Now, we will not talk about the programs, but I'm going to put a link down there for the English programs. Let's go to the second university, and the second university is one of the biggest in Poland. This is no other school than the University of Warsaw. Now, Warsaw is the capital city of Poland, and if you want to apply, or if you are thinking of even applying to the University of Warsaw, note that the application fee is 85 Polish zloty. Not too much money, probably 20 euros. It's okay. Remember, most times you will not be able to pay this money by credit card. You have to pay using a bank transfer. Then if you convert this, not just the 85 zlotys, there are some people who are going to apply to the University of Warsaw who would pay like 100 Polish zloty. But in this case, these are for those that have an exam, maybe an oral exam or a written exam online. Okay, so you have to check carefully. Like some, I think medical students and nursing students, they have a particular exam they have to write, and in this case their own application fee is not going to be 85 Polish zloty. Please check with respect to your program. Tuition fee at the University of Warsaw range between 2,500 to 7,000 euros. I just did the conversion in euros immediately. So expect that maybe you can be going for law or maybe chemistry or physics, and the tuition fee is not the same for international students. Remember, we are talking only about English taught programs here in this university called the University of Warsaw in Poland. Now, we take a look at some of the programs, but before we talk about the programs, let's look at the requirements. Requirements remains the same. You need a copy of your international passport. You need your secondary school certificates if you are going for bachelor's degree. Remember, they must be legalized. You also need an eligibility letter. You also need a digital photo, all right, a photo of yourself, passport size photograph. That's what I mean. Then you also need English proficiency, and if you studied in English before, of course it's your advantage. You go to your school, collect a document from them and upload it. But most times, I think for bachelor students it might bring them a little disadvantage, because I think sometimes they might be thinking that you may not know the English the way those who studied bachelors already know it. So they might insist, all right, this is just an assumption, they might insist that you should provide English proficiency. And in this case, you can ask them if you can write the Duolingo test and give them, because if they are insisting on English proficiency, it means that they only need the IELTS exam. But you can ask them if they can accept Duolingo, because Duolingo is somehow cheap, and the results doesn't take time. I think within 48 hours or 72 hours you can get Duolingo test, and it's like $50 to write it, but IELTS is expensive. Then among these, you also need your application fee. I explained to you already. Then I think these are the requirements you need to apply to the University of Warsaw for BSc. Then for Masters, you also need your BSc certificate and the transcript in addition to these documents, okay? In some cases, you may be asked to supply maybe a CV or a motivation letter. In extreme cases, yeah, some programs will ask you to provide these documents, but which are not any problem. Now, these are the requirements to study here. Let's take a look at the BSc programs. They have programs like, I'm going to be reading from my Jota, guys. If you want to study at the University of Warsaw, you will find programs like Social and Public Policy. You will have American Studies. They also have Archaeology. There is also International Studies. There is also English Studies. There is also Political Science. There is also International Relations. There is also Linguistic, Literature and Culture, European Politics and Economics, and also Finance and Investment. So these are the programs available at the University of Warsaw for bachelor's level. Okay, then for master's programs, you are going to find programs like African Studies, American Studies, International Relations. You are going to have Chemistry, Cognitive Science, Physics, Climate and Energy Studies, Climate and Energy Law, Data Science, Archaeology, Climate Law, and so many other programs I didn't mention here. So please, these are the programs you have to apply. For the link for the programs, you are going to find it below. Then how to apply, you are going to find it below. Remember, all these documents, you are going to submit them online, pay your application fee, then you scan the receipt. Then after that, it's going to take maybe 1 month, 1.5 months, 2 months for you to get a reply. If positive, as I pray it is going to be positive, then you will now move to the visa stage. But remember, before you move to the visa stage, you need to pay this first tuition deposit. If your tuition for 1 year is 2,500, you have to pay that 2,500 before you gather their visa documents and apply for visa. If it's for 1 semester and the cost is 2,500, you must pay the money completely. But when you arrive Poland, there is a possibility for you to negotiate for instrumental payment. I hope you understand this. So please put all this into consideration, and before you know, you might be in Warsaw or maybe in Opole. Who can tell? Until we meet again in another one, guys, I wish you all the best. More videos about universities that are open in Poland will be dropping very soon. Till we meet again in another one. Bye.